Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the software development life cycles and its models. We already know about what is Sdlc, right? We have already discussed about the Sdlc in our live session. So here are the phases of Sdlc. Like first you start with the requirement of your software. After checking the requirement, then you do the analysis, right? Like here you check all the feasibilities and everything. After that we design it like on paper or blueprint. Then we do the coding part, that is also we called implementation, right? So this is coding. After completing our implementation process, we testing all the modules and different types of testing we do, and then we deploy our software. So different phases are there in the Sdlc, but there are different methods, different models are there, different methodology in which model you are using and which technique you are using that involves. So today we'll discuss about the models, different models, like which model or company uses which type of model. So let's start. Okay, so here we have three different types of model. The first one is the waterfall model, then we have incremental model, and the third one is the spiral model. As you can see in the image that all the models are very different from each other, but one thing is common, that is phases. Like this is waterfall model. Here you have requirement gathering, analysis, design, coding, testing and deployment. All these are the Sdlc phases. The similar way you have requirement, analysis, design, coding, right? Here as well we have requirement analysis, then testing is there, prototype is nothing but the design, then evaluation, and that we consider under the deployment and all. So ultimately we are following the Sdlc only, right? But different models are used by the different companies. So let's discuss the first model, that is the waterfall model. So here we have a waterfall model. As name suggests that it is like very similar to the waterfall, right? This way, right? It is very similar to waterfall. So what happens in this type of model, if company is following this type of model, what happens? They complete each and every phase first, and then they go to the next phase. Like first all the requirement gathering is done, everything, and after completing the first phase, then they go to for the second phase. So this is something like you can use with small projects. Like you cannot use it with the complex and big projects. You cannot use. The reason is waterfall model says that you cannot go back, right? Means suppose you have reached to the coding phase, you cannot go to the analysis phase. In reality it is not like possible. Of course we can manage internally, like we can go, but if you are following this model strictly, in that case you cannot go back, right? And for that, this type of model normally we use when we have a small projects, like not complex, right? Not complex, very small. But one thing we should be very much clear for when we are using this type of model is you should be very much confident about each and every phase, right? Like first you have done all the things with the requirement and gathering, then you are going to the analysis part. And we know that in waterfall we cannot go back, so you have to do your 100% work in the requirement gathering. And similar with the all the phases, like first do this, then this, and this way. So this is about the waterfall model. Normally it is not that much feasible, of course, in real time, because when you are, suppose you are testing, right? Suppose you are testing your module, and suppose you find some, you found some error. Of course you need to go back to the coding, right? It might be possible during the coding you found something like it is not relevant design. Of course you need to go back to the design. If your design is not proper due to some reason, in that case of course you need to do the analysis. So actually in real time it is not feasible, but yes, this type of model is there which company can use, right? So this is about the waterfall model. Next model we'll discuss in the next lecture.